fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here with the entire wave of Skeleton Crew figures. As of time of recording, Skeleton Crew is still airing, but I have finally gotten my reviews filmed for all 6 characters, and I just have to say that this is, in my opinion, one of Hasbro's best waves in a long time. There's some amazing sculpt work going on between accessories and just figure sculpts and likenesses, and I really have been loving this wave, and I've been sharing that in each and every review, and here I am wanting to go a little bit blanket in depth on the wave instead of an individual case-by-case basis like the reviews tend to be. So I just want to say this wave is doing some of Hasbro's best when it comes to minimal reuse, amazing paint deco, likenesses, sculpt work, articulation. There really isn't anything that I feel this wave is missing. This is just stellar work from Hasbro, and it's not what I normally would go for. You know me, I'm affected by the cloner brain rot as much as everyone else, if not worse. That Detolf over there is entirely clones top to bottom. Like, you know, I am the clone guy. I am a cloner. I accept it. But this has some really cool stuff going on. I mean, there's just some great sculpt work, and I'm really liking the show, which I feel might be helping a bit. But there's just some cool stuff going on. Something that I acknowledged in some of the later reviews as I started to verify that was the case is simple little things like each kid comes with a flashlight. I would have completely expected Hasbro to just make a flashlight mold and crank it out 4 different times, maybe in some different color plastics. Not what they did here. The flashlights are all unique sculpts. Whim and Neil's walkie-talkies are 2 different sculpts for the same thing. They're a set of walkie-talkies in universe, and they have given them different sculpts because Neil's has a belt hook on it and Whim's doesn't. I mean, there's just so many little things going on in here that just have really made me very happy. I just openly want to say, like, if you are on the fence about these figures, if you're liking the show, if you can get a deal, like, you know, like ordering a set of 6 from like a retailer or something, you would probably be happy because all 6 of these are really well done. And that's just largely talking about the kids. Let's not even like ignore, I mean, Pirate Captain Brutus, he's making everyone's top 10 of 2024 lists. He didn't personally make mine, but if it was like a top 12 list, he probably would have made it. Like, he has some amazing sculpt and articulation going on. Jod, I love that Jude Law likeness. I mean, it's a really fun figure. He's a space pirate, and I adore it. I mean, there's some really great stuff going on here, and I just had to talk about it for a minute. I'm basically glazing the wave. Every figure in this wave is a highly recommended pickup for me, and I just wanted to rank them because ranking videos always do well. At least they used to. I haven't done one in a long time. I used to do this kind of thing where I would get an entire wave of figures and review them and then rank them afterwards, but for the last year or two, there really haven't been any waves that I've gotten everything from. So this is the first one of these I've done in a while, so I'm really excited to get back into form. So let me go ahead and start by telling you about who is number 6. So in spot number 6, and you need to know this isn't about the characters, but is KB. Look, I actually do like her character in the show. I understand how she would probably be the kid you like least. Not that you dislike her, but she just hasn't had a lot of super standout moments yet. But there are a couple of things on this figure that personally bother me. I mean, for starters, I'll just openly say, and it's a design thing, it's not a Hasbro thing, she's a little boring. It's a gray jumpsuit. You know, that's not Hasbro's fault, but in this wave of pretty visually dynamic figures, it doesn't catch the eye like the others do, and that doesn't help her. But something that I don't like design-wise is there's something weird with the arms. I think her arms are just too thin to raise the articulation up it just gets really thin up in the upper bicep area there to where you really see the ball of the joint in there. I don't think I like that. I kind of wish they would have made the sleeves just slightly baggier. Of course, then maybe you wouldn't be able to put her arms straight down. Maybe they would have been held out just a little bit, but like, I think I'd have preferred that over this because this just looks very, very action figure-y to me. And again, she's an action figure. Nothing wrong with that, but it is what it is. Something else, and I think it was just a case of they didn't know it because they didn't get a lot of early access to the show, is she really flips up her visor a lot, and with the lack of painted eyes underneath, you can't even really like modify this or anything. I really wish that we had seen a swappable head. However, like I say in the review, if you're only going to give us one head, visor down is definitely the option to do, but I think a swappable head for her really could have pushed her up a level. I just feel like we're missing some display options here. But even then, still at the core, I think KB is a solid figure. At spot number 5, we have Whim. Look, I love Whim. He's a very relatable character. I've really liked his story so far in the show. And I'm not saying, again, nothing with the character. He is sculpted pretty well from the neck down. My big issue here is that he just has a soft face. It's very round. His face isn't that round in the show. And the likeness isn't great. You know, even KB has a better likeness for the 75% of her face that you can see. Like, it's just Whim definitely missed the mark on the likeness that none of the other figures in the wave did. I just think that the rest of him is a good enough figure that he kind of edges out KB. So I don't know. This is a struggle. I really think KB and Whim could honestly be interchangeable as 5 and 6, but I elected to put Whim in at 5. Otherwise, he's a great figure. He has all the articulation you want. He has all the accessory storage you could ask for. The one thing that sucks is just he doesn't have anywhere to put the walkie-talkie. Just in-universe, he stuffs it in the backpack is what he does. So, I mean, like, I get why they didn't, but, you know, it's like, all the other kids can store everything they come with, and he has this one accessory, which I'm just going to leave in his hand. It is what it is. But yeah, just my thoughts. Whim is number 5. Still a totally great figure, though. At spot number 4, I'm putting Neil. I'm going to be honest. I understand Neil Nation. He is our little Rizzler, our little Giga Chad. But, you know, this wave, again, is 6 great figures, and it is hard putting something like this in spot number 4 until you realize that it's just because everything else is so good. Neil is sculpted amazingly. I love that he has so many accessories and every single one of them is stowable in one way or another, and he just looks really good. There's just something in the face. I think that the CG model didn't translate perfectly to action figure form. It's still incredibly recognizable and looks really, really good, but there's just something going on, and I think, first, he has a lot of shine going on. You know, I think they didn't get the memo in the factory. But there's just a little something, there's something I can't put my finger on, and it kind of stops him from being at the top end of the list. But he's a great figure, just beautifully executed, and one that I'm super happy to have. And just because I'm putting him at 4 does not mean he's a bad figure. He is absolutely goated. And spot number 3 is Fern. I really love her design. I love all the patches she has all over her jacket. I think that she has the best likeness of the 4 kids by any stretch, and the second best human likeness in the entire wave. I mean, it is just very, very recognizable as the character. The action figure is very well sculpted. It has every detail you could possibly ask for. It's a flawless figure. There's nothing wrong with Fern. She's great. I'm really liking the character in the show, so maybe there's a bias there, but I like the character, I like how she's adapted to action figure form, and there's just nothing negative to be said here. Just, this is great, flawless, the best of the 4 kids, there's no questions asked. Maybe not character-wise, but figure-wise, the best of the 4 kids. And spot number 2 is Jod Nanawood. That's a terrible name. Jude Law's character. I have always loved Jude Law as an actor, so I was super happy to see that he got cast in Star Wars, and then even happier to really like his character. Jod has been really compelling. Now, at the time of recording, we're only at episode 5, so I get it. He just betrayed the kids. He's a little bit of a slimy pirate. But let's be fair. We all know he's going to have a change of heart in the end. But it's just a very well done figure. I think that it's an amazing likeness to Jude Law. I love it. I love all of the sculpt work going on here, all the gold going on around the pockets and the cuffs, and just so well done. The texturing on the coat, the kind of like grid pattern up around the collar and on the inside. Just a lot of really, really cool things have been done here, and I think it's an amazing figure. It's one that I'm just super, super happy to have in the collection, and in my opinion, is just second best in the wave. Another thing is, I think just by nature of being a full-size figure, it's easier to say that he's a better value than the kids, just because there's more going on here. But the kids aren't a bad value. I'll say that at the end, too. But like, I think that everyone in this wave has been a pretty decent value for the money. Does spot number 1 even shock you? Come on, it's Pirate Captain Brutus. While I didn't make my top 10 of the year video, he was close. But while I didn't make the top 10, he definitely makes number 1 in the wave. Just the insane sculpt work going on here, the amount of accessories, that head sculpt, I mean, it's just super, super cool. I have basically no gripes with this figure whatsoever. It's a flawless execution. Look, I said earlier, the cloner brain rot is strong. I have no cares to give about Cantina aliens. I don't care there was a Wolfman in A New Hope, or I guess there's 2 of them. Like, those guys don't matter to me in the slightest. They could be wiped from canon with the next special edition of A New Hope. Wouldn't blink an eye, wouldn't cry about it. But this is a really cool Wolfman figure. I'm glad to finally have a Wolfman in universe that actually is a real character with a real name, with some real dialogue. It's just a great, great figure, great character, and he's just super cool. I will say, something that does throw me is, it's obviously a guy in a costume, right? Like, on the show. Like, his head's big. He's got, like, a human body with a big head. It looks like a furry convention going on anytime he's around. But, like, I'm here for it. He's just really, really cool. And yeah, I'm just amped. I'm here for it. So, what do you think of my ranking? Am I anywhere in the ballpark? I feel like I'm pretty fair and accurate to probably where a lot of people are going to be on these. It's just a great set of figures, a set of figures that I think has come out great, and this is like a banger. This is a great way to wrap up 2024. It was a great year for action figures in general, but like this was definitely a fine final course for the year. It's a great set of figures to represent what has been one of the best shows in a long time, and just all in all, I am extremely satisfied. I think that this is just a great set of figures. There's none really that I would say have any real issues. Minor likeness issues, should have had a swappable head for KB. Like, it just is what it is. Like, if that's all I can say about an entire set of 6 figures, like, we're doing good. Like, there's nothing wrong here. I'm super excited to get SM33. Hasbro has pipelined him as coming sometime early 2025, which is great. He's like the missing thing here. And honestly, I don't know from there what I would want from this show. As of episode 5, which is all I've seen by the time of recording, there's no characters that I'm like, they're missing, other than SM, which they've already said is coming. I don't think they should really go too hard on giving us other pirates. I kind of think that Brutus is kind of like the one to do if you're going to do any. If you were going to do any others at all, it might be worth doing Vane, just because, you can put him on the Mando show, if you can put him here, and maybe just because people like the actor, the Jaleel White pirate. Like, those would be, if they were going to do like 2 pirates, like, those would be the other 2 to do after Brutus. Like, otherwise, unless we see some really cool designs, some really cool characters coming up, I don't think we need any of the people from from Ad Atron or the other planets, that we've been to so far. I kind of think that we've got a pretty good basis for the crew here. This could be a very small section of a shelf, and there's no misses if that's how it stays. So, all in all, really loving these figures, really glad to talk about them a final time, and just a great set. Just a great set of figures. So I'm going to go work on something else. Thanks a bunch for watching. It means a lot that you did. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the end of video stuff. You know the drill. I'll see you next time. Until then, may the force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.